Week 41 results and my first week with a 7.5 milligram dose. Hi, Kerry here, and this is my Monjaro journey. So this week's been pretty interesting, mainly because the prices for Monjaro have or will be increasing on the 1st of September. I think it was very badly handled by Eli Lilly. The pharmacists, the prescribers, they basically found out at the same time as the customers, the patients found out that the prices were increasing. Also, the prescribers have to negotiate prices with Eli Lilly. It's like any wholesaler and manufacturer, the bigger the wholesaler that can get the volume of sales, they tend to get a better price. Doesn't mean to say that you, the customer, will get that better price. It depends. It depends on your prescriber. I think there's been some interesting videos made. The most sensible video about it all is Dr. Emma. I'll leave a link to hers. Also, Ali, I'll leave a link to his video. It's very emotional, upset, not knowing what he's going to do because his BMI is down to 23, and can he move to the other options like Wegovy and things like that. I think these are all conversations that all of us will be having with our prescribers. So yes, it is possible to move to different medication. For most of us, some it may not be, because you may not be on that particular medication because of health reasons, whatever, but there may be options. So I'm just holding on until I know the price. Now, I did order an extra pen, so I didn't order any more. My prescriber has allowed us to order 2 extra pens. Initially they said 3, but they knocked it down to 2. But I'd already basically purchased 2 pens this month because I were a bit late ordering my 7.5 pen. And also, like Stephanie said, I'll leave a link to her video. How do you know that that's the right dose for you? You know, like, yes, I was on 5 milligrams for months before I moved up to my first 7.5 milligrams. Do I know that I'm going to have the same length of time on the 7.5? I don't know. But I have ordered a 7.5 so that I'll have at least 2 months on 7.5. So that's where I am. So let's move on swiftly because I think enough people have covered prices and the reasons and all that. So, like I said, this week has been the first of my 7.5 milligrams. I did not split dose. I basically injected how it should be, 1 dose. I injected into my stomach, which usually when I start with a new dose, I usually go to the thigh because I don't tend to have as many side effects, but I'd moved from my thigh previously because it was beginning to hurt whenever I injected into my thigh because I've lost quite a bit of weight off there. So I injected straight into my stomach. Now, yes, I have had side effects. Not bad. Monday, which was the day after, my stomach felt a bit upset, but that was it. It just felt upset. I didn't have any diarrhea or anything like that. It just felt a bit upset. Tuesday, however, I woke up and I did have diarrhea. I took an Imodium and I also had a ginger shot, and that seemed to settle my stomach until later on at night as I was going to bed. I felt a bit nauseous, but it was okay. Not an issue. Wednesday I woke up, I was perfectly fine. So if that's my side effects, I'm not worried, because pre-Monjaro, I suffered really badly with my digestion. In fact, my digestion has improved considerably with Monjaro. Pre-Monjaro, I was always suffering either diarrhea or constipation. I was either on medication from the doctors, laxatives, really strong laxatives for constipation, or I was constantly running to the loo and needing Imodium and things like that, and afraid, and having accidents while I'm out as well. So I've not had any of that with Monjaro. So quite pleased. But I've also been suffering fatigue as a side effect this week. Could be a number of reasons going through the menopause that can cause fatigue. So also the heat. We've had a really hot week, like Wednesday. I didn't even go for a walk on Wednesday. I did yoga, but I didn't go for a walk because it was just too hot. It hit 30 degrees, and I was going to wait until later on in the evening, but it was still too hot. And I thought, no, it's just not worth the risk. So I didn't do it. So exercise-wise, last week I said and worked out that I was doing 6 hours less of exercise a week since I'd quit the gym and quit other things. So this week I've increased my exercise. I've not increased it up to that 6 hours that I was missing, mainly because of the heat, and also it took me a long time to actually get up to that level of doing 6 hours. You know, initially I started with 3 hours at the gym. That took me a good few months before I added 30 minutes walking a day to that. And then it took me a good few weeks before I added like a weighted vest and extra steps. So I concentrated this week on doing my 30-minute walk, other than Wednesday, and also doing 3 yoga sessions. I did one for 45 minutes and 2 others for 30 minutes. So that I was happy with. I'd also watched Karen's video, Karen from GLP-1 Journey. Her videos are good. If you are a type 2 diabetic, she is great to follow. But Karen is also the same height as me, 5'1". She's also doing strength training. And she was talking about the TDEE Calculator. Now, my personal trainer had worked out my calories, and they were higher because I was doing strength training. I was doing all those exercises, which I'm not doing now. So I went on to the TDEE Calculator, and I'm going to record this so that you can actually see. And I'll also leave a link down in the description for anybody that doesn't know the calories, and if you're wanting to do a calorie diet. You don't have to. It's just to help me with my tracking. If you don't want to do calories, don't do it. Just simple, don't do it. Do something else like intermittent fasting or something like that that will help you control it. You know, don't feel that it's a burden, because intermittent fast, I do that with my brother. So my brother's got learning disabilities. He's also struggles with his weight. So I've bought him loads of low-calorie snacks and that, because he's on epileptic tablets. They make him a lot hungrier, so like high-protein yogurts and things like that, and low-calorie snack bars, the ones that you get at Home Bargains here in the UK. Those sorts of things, and low-calorie crisps when he fancies them. But he himself, we've been doing it for a while, where we'll stop eating at just after 6. When it was lockdown, we used to stop at 6 and then only start eating again at 9 o'clock. Now we stop probably 7 o'clock. So that gives him time to have his tea after he's been at his activity centres, have his tea, and then have a snack of like a yogurt or whatever. And then he doesn't eat until the next day at 7:30. So that's just over 12 hours of intermittent fasting, and he is losing weight just doing that. So that is helping. I think he's nearly at a stone. It's took him a long time, because every time he goes to respite, which he's going to next week, he puts weight on. But he is getting there. So that, and he goes to the gym for 20 minutes on Wednesday, and we do walking every day. That's one of the reasons why I took up walking every day. And also he does some core exercises of about 15 minutes most mornings, not every morning, but most mornings he's doing a bit of core exercises where he's doing a bit of sit-ups, a bit of the plank, stuff like that to help him. So I was on to TDEE Calculator. So I've put all my information that I'm 51, because that's where I am. My weight, I've done it in imperial. You can do it in imperial or metric. So 145, 5'1", and I've put down light exercise of 1 to 2 days per week. But you can change that. So you can go moderate exercises, which is more probably what I would put these days. Heavy exercise I would have put previously, but I'm going to put the light exercise because that's what Karen put with hers. And I'm going to calculate now. I don't know my percentage body fat, and it says my maintenance calories is 1,664. And as you can see, that is a lot lower than what the general maintenance calories is for people. They generally say, 2,000 calories a day is your maintenance. But if you're a lot shorter, it's got to be a lot smaller, your calories. And then you've got to minus 500 off that if you want to lose weight. So if you go a bit further down, it'll tell me my ideal weight, because it also works out my BMI, is between 105 and 120 pounds. There's no way I'm doing that. Because according to that, that's another 25 pounds I've got to get off. No, it's just too much. But anyway, it tells me, where did I see it? It was down here. If I want to cut, so I tap cutting, and it tells me my micronutrients and how much. It says 1,164 calories a day. And then if I were having moderate carbs, I should be having 87 grams of protein. If I wanted lower carbs, 116 grams of protein. Now, I would say I'm probably moderate carbs. I don't have bread and stuff, but I do like my baked potatoes, and I do like my granola or my Nutribix in the morning. So, and sometimes I have a tiny little piece of quiche, which I do like as well, gluten-free, all them gluten-free. So I would say I'm a moderate carb person. So those are the things I should be aiming for. So I went back and changed it to moderate exercise of 3 to 5 days, which I would say. So again, maintenance has gone up. So exercises helps you. Again, that ideal weight is a bit too low for me. And if I were cutting again, 1,376, but my protein has to be higher at 103 grams, obviously because you are doing muscles. So that is my calories. I've talked about my exercise. Non-scale victories this week. I am wearing one. This is a size 10 blouse. My mom loves to shop for clothes and things like that. I've not had to buy any new clothes other than some gym clothes, some new leggings and stuff, because I've been raiding my mom's. Basically, she's got a lot of clothes and they're all size 10, size 12. Some have been size 14 when she's been a bit heavier. Some are size 8. But yes, she's given me these though. She's given me a few blouses. So I've been grateful for those. She was going to give them to charity shops, so they've come my way instead. And instead of the charity shop getting my mom's clothes, they've been getting mine. So the charity shop's still doing well. So that's a non-scale victory, which I'm really, really pleased about. So let's get on to the weight loss. Now, my original weight was 100 kilograms, or 15 stone, 10.4 pounds, or 220 pounds. Last week, I had gained, so I was 67.3 kilograms, or 10 stone, 8.4 pounds, or 148.4 pounds. This week, drum roll, 66.1 kilograms. That means I've lost 1.2 kilograms. Or 10 stone, 5.7 pounds. Or 145.7 pounds. And that means I've lost 2.7 pounds. So my total weight loss over my journey is 33.9 kilograms, or 5 stone, 4.7 pounds, or 74.7 pounds. So I am really, really happy with that. My current BMI is 27.5. That is still classed as overweight, and it's still the BMI where you can, if you've got chronic health issues that are obesity related, like liver disease or hypertension or anything, you can still change your prescriber or change your medication. So I'm still okay. If I want to go that way, go either way. I'm not sure yet. My average calories this week, it has been 1,150. So that explains probably why I've lost weight, for 3 reasons: that I went up on 7.5. I didn't have any major suppression. I wasn't suppressed that I couldn't eat, and that was one thing I was really worried about, because it is a side effect, that I'd be so suppressed that I couldn't eat. Food noise wasn't there, which was great, but I could still manage to eat my meals, and I knew I was full when I'd finished, because I still kept that same smaller proportions, and I knew I was full, but I could still go out, have a carvery, eat with the family, not be, I can't eat this, I'm going to have to replace it with a protein shake or whatever. It wasn't that. So I was really, really pleased. So on the whole, I've had a fantastic week, other than, as Joe from Joe Sleep and Slim Down said, the elephant in the room, price increase. Other than that, I've had a really good week. And I hope you've had one, other than the bad news, that you've done well. I hope that you have had one, other than, if you're in the UK, the bad news. So that is my week. I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you all have a fantastic week. If you've got any questions or any comments or any advice or anything like that, or what are you going to do? Are you going to stick? Because I've decided, I had a chat with my doctor, and I said that I'd probably stick with GLP-1, well, Monjaro at the time, for the rest of my life, because it's reversed liver disease, it's helped with chronic kidney disease, my hypertension is normal. There's just so many good things. Also, I used to suffer migraines. I haven't had a migraine since I started. I've had a headache every now and then, but no migraines. And like I say, digestive issues, not had them either. So, yeah, I'm going to have to bite the bullet. And what I've done is I've looked at my finances and looked at what I can get rid of, what I can cut. So I found a few things that I'd invested in for my business that I'm not using now, because I no longer do that business. I do something slightly different. So those tools, I went in. I've cancelled some of them. I've still got to cancel others. Another one contacted me, said they were putting their price up, and I went, right, you're gone as well. So that's what I'm doing. I am cutting a lot of bills out, because this, to me, is the most important thing for me. You know, after obviously paying rent and your other bills that you have to pay, rent, mortgage, whatever. So yeah, okay, that's it. I am honestly, truly loving you and leaving you. I hope you all have a fantastic week. And like I say, tell me what you think. Bye.